too, baby.
Be careful.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're back at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for another race weekend in the Legends cars with Granite State Legends and the INEX Racing Series. They've combined all the groups this weekend. We had, I think, 22 to 24 cars, somewhere in that neighborhood on the track. And that would be Young Lions, Semi-Pro, Pro, and Masters, which I'm now a part of. Better or worse, I'm 40 years old, so I'm able to join the Masters. Over the weekend, there's 4 races, and I've chosen to share this one with you guys. This is, I think, the most exciting race of my weekend. I had one race where the bumper fell off again. Pretty hilarious. I'm still learning a lot about these cars, and unfortunately, the bumper tabs are made out of peanut brittle, so they just basically fall off every time you look at them. So I'm gonna be reinforcing some bumpers and fixing some of my bumpers, and I had to buy 2 new ones over the weekend to stay on the racetrack. So anyway, so this is the last race of the weekend. I had gotten a couple of podiums and then a DNF for the bumper, and during this last race, things get pretty spicy. So this is definitely the most exciting one. You can see I started in 6th place. This is my best qualifying ever. Picking up the pace, getting a little better, figuring out the setup just a little bit more, but you know, mostly seat time is what's driving my lap times to go down. So I'm just getting better in the car. You know, Go Motorsports has been helping with the setup and we're making small incremental changes now to fix really minor issues. And with their help and me getting more comfortable in the car, I'm just picking up time. So as you can see, I lost a couple positions. And the silver car in front of the car that's in front of me right now, that's Sean Buffington. He's the, excuse me, Sean, for not remembering, but I think 9-time Granite State Legends Masters champion now. So very well positioned driver, and you know, the man to beat. If you've ever looked up Legends cars in New England, especially road course racing, you'll see the name Sean Buffington over and over and over again. So I'm just happy to be running near the guy, you know, in the same ballpark up here. And unfortunately, things don't go well a little later in the race for him and me, really. And we'll go over that when we get there. But overall, a good weekend. Picking up time and just doing better. And there's some talk about next year changing the layout of this track. In fact, you'll see the turn 1A section right there, the little chicane. There's a tire barrier on the right-hand side now. That usually wouldn't be there, but a lot of people have been going 4 wheels off in cutting that. So unfortunately, we don't have course cut penalties like we have in iRacing. So they've added some tire barriers there to deter people from using that and gaining an advantage. So one thing I definitely have to work on are my starts. I've been losing multiple positions on the starts just about every race, and it's because I'm just being overly cautious. I don't feel super comfortable pushing the car immediately, or not like these guys are. I like to feel the tires come up to temperature and things get a little bit more comfortable. And you can see that in not only my racecraft, where I'm losing positions, like I said, but also my lap times usually start off a little bit slower and then kind of gain throughout the session. It could be partially due to setup and what I'm running for tire pressures, but I think it's just a lot of confidence building that I still need to do. So you can see driver in front of me putting a move on Sean there, and I'm appreciating that because the goal here was just to stay with him. I out-qualified him, but I think it was because he had to go to a backup car. He broke his car during qualifying, and then ended up going to this backup car. And I think he only got one, maybe 2 laps in at the very end of qualifying to set a time for that car. And I guess that's the rule. If you can switch cars, but you have to take whatever lap time you set with that car for the race. So like I was saying earlier, they were thinking about doing a configuration change here, and that would be in this section coming up where we run the moto chicane. We take this left right here, and then we're going to take a hard right, and then another left and onto the front straightaway. So instead of that, we're going to run straight through there, right by pit entry, onto the front stretch. Now we're going to take a driver vote at the beginning of next year. As far as I understand it, we're going to run it for a test session and then take a vote of who wants to do that. That's a similar configuration to what we run in the SCCA, so I'll be all for it. Besides, I don't really think that chicane adds a lot. Like, unless you're going to smash into somebody's bumper, you're not going to make a pass there. So here we go. We've made a little bit of progress. Things are opening up. I'm starting to feel more comfortable with the car, so I can definitely drive to more of my lap time, my ability in the car. And yeah, just happy to be in this position this far in the front. So this is, right now I'm in second place in Masters. Sean is in first place, and then there's, I think there was 4 other Masters, maybe 5 other Masters throughout the field behind us. So yeah, with the switch to Masters, I am running against less drivers, but they're also, for the most part, Masters are always paired with the pro drivers here with the Granite State Legends. So when I run with Masters, I get to not only run with other Master drivers over 40 years old, but I get to run with the pro drivers. So there's usually a good race. But this weekend, because of the number of cars, we had a driver vote, and we just everybody is combined for the session. So a lot of these, or some of these guys, I think one in front of us is semi-pro. And then there's probably some semi-pros behind us. So you can see I show the nose a little bit just to feel out what's going on here. I wasn't actually going to make a move there, but if I can get him to go up high and make a mistake, then it might benefit me. But this is the situation I was talking about earlier. As Sean comes down here, he just starts to slide, which isn't uncommon, and bam. I had no idea how much damage the car had in this situation. It started back up. I was moving. I see the wheel off over there. It's hard to really know exactly what happened after the moment that it happens. So unfortunately, yeah, Sean was sliding, and that's not uncommon. I've seen lots of cars slide like that in front of me and catch it, and they just keep going straight. Well, a little bit of overcorrection, and his car just spun the other way. And there's, up until the point where it snapped to the left, I thought he was going to catch it and just keep going, which is, it happens. It's a very difficult transition there. So, it's not uncommon for the car to slide a little sideways and get crazy. And unfortunately, it just went wrong. So I basically T-boned him, and I just had no clue what the damage was on the front of the car, but I know it's driving, it's turning, it's left and right, and so I'm thinking maybe I can finish this race. So obviously they threw the caution. I'm hoping that the car is okay, and what ends up happening here, you'll see in a second, is they actually red flagged it. And that's because as you saw, there was actually a wheel in the grass. It ripped the front corner of his car off. Unfortunately, so they sent an ambulance out because it was a pretty hard impact. Make sure Sean's okay, and then we'll get back to racing. So they red flagged us. They brought us in, which is a good thing. I'm over here waving to the team, like, hey, check out the car. They're not sure if they can work on it, so they got confirmation we could bring it in the garages and work on it. I just have to start at the back of the pack, but I was at the back of the pack basically anyway. So here the guys are. They're putting a new bumper on the front. Here's Tiny. One of the race stewards came over and talked to me about what's going on, and of course I stalled the car. So they get the bumper back on the car, they straighten out some things, make sure nothing's falling off, and just in time for the cars to be rolling off back to the race. So I take tail of the field, which I was gonna have to do anyway. I was at the tail of the field. We're gonna do a caution lap here and then get doubled up. Sorry for the noise. Fast forwarding through all of this. So the guy said the car looked good, but we're not really sure how far the toe is out or what's bent. And I found out later that there were some minor bent parts, but it wasn't too bad. But the car was not turning left as good as it was prior to the incident. We went green, 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 and I got a really good start immediately to the outside because I just want to make up a bunch of positions. I wouldn't say I'm driving angry, but I was upset with what happened. I was having a good race and a good run, and I was be happy just to finish behind Sean in second place there, but didn't work out that way. So I want to make up. We're halfway through the race. I want to make up as many spots as I can. And funny enough, I can see Darren, who is the master, who would probably be in first place. I don't know exactly where anybody is right now, but Darren is a silver car in front of this red and black car in front of me. So I'm assuming that's first place, and I was correct. So I'm going to catch up to him at some point here, because it's just a big bottleneck of cars. I mean, you can't make any progress. So I'm still feeling the car out. Things are feeling okay. It's just not turning left as well. I mean, it seems to be okay on the right-handers, but the left-handers just feel a little bit more squirrely, not completely comfortable. I'm just waiting for something else to break on the car or something to go wrong at this point. So putting the move on the outside in turn 3, making it up the hill. Darren makes a bit of a mistake there. He gets off and a little squirrely, and I back out of it because going down in this section, going side by side is not going to really help anybody. The driver you're attempting to pass is not going to lift, and you're just going to go side by side all the way down the hill and slow you both down a ton. So no point in even trying to do that there, especially with the straightaway coming up. This is your opportunity. You get out of this corner correctly, unlike what I did, you can have a good draft going down the straight and then make a move into turn 1. So even though I got out of that corner very poorly, I still caught up a couple of car lengths and had a good run by the end of the straightaway. So I know I could probably make it work there. So I've been coming down that hill pretty good all weekend. I'm really happy with the progress I've been making, and in certain areas of this track, coming down that hill, I seem to gain time on a lot of other drivers just doing it just that much little bit better. And unfortunately, coming out of this corner, I'm still struggling. Once in a while, I get it right. More often than not, I seem to get it wrong. I just can't get the power down enough coming out of there because I just don't get the car quite settled. There's a car kind of holding Darren up a little bit here, which is good for me. I like that. And here we go. We're going to try to go up the inside. And Darren backed out of it nice and early there, so allowed me to grab that position. And I'm thinking, well, maybe if I can get around this car, then Darren can get stuck behind him some more, and I can get away. But it's not quite the way it works out here. So, and in this case, I don't care if we go side by side and slow each other down, because I'm not gonna catch up to Jake, and I'm not really worried about catching up to that blue car in front, which is Jake Kelly. And but yeah, I ended up determining that it just wasn't worth it to go side by side down the hill. I was planning on it for sure. I just wanted to get in front of this 4 because, as I said, him and Darren could battle it out, and I would hopefully get away. But decided not to, and I think for the rest of the race, I just basically get stuck on the tail here. I try to make it work, but never make it happen. And I think even by this point, I think Darren's dropped off a couple of car lengths. So I basically feel that he's conceded the race. I think he's happy with where he's at, and he's just going to finish this long weekend in second place, which means I'm in first place for the Masters category. And this is my first win. I end up finishing here and pick up my first top step on the podium, which is pretty exciting. It's not quite as fast as I want to be yet. Still, I'd like to figure some things out and get a little quicker, and maybe I will. Hopefully I will. And who knows, maybe if I can get quick enough, I could even move up to the pro category. But you can see that the pro cars are just on another level up there. They're just that much faster. You know, they're not out of sight. They're not out of my reach yet, I don't feel. But I definitely need to learn some more and figure some things out. So that's checkered flag, P1 for Masters. And just like to say thank you to everybody who watches these videos, everybody who helps me get to where I'm at. iRacing, of course. Go Motorsports, Mike and Kevin at Go Motorsports, unbelievable guys, just always helping out and willing to give advice. Always have parts in the trailer. And congratulations to the champions over the weekend. So they crowned 4 champions over this last weekend for the different categories that I mentioned earlier: pro, semi-pro, Masters, and Young Lions for Granite State Legends. And next up, we're going to Dominion in Virginia, and we're going to get some practice in for the World Finals race. So I will see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching.